Men weren't meant to do everything alone. They weren't. They weren't meant to do everything alone. Welcome back to another episode of Communication and Compromise. I'm your host, Kayla New York. Today is going to be a little bit more, hopefully structured. I'm working on that. Hopefully structured. And I'm talking to the men. And I probably lost half of you and you'll be like, oh my God, no, what I need you to understand is I have 3 boys. I don't have any girls. All I have is 3 boys. I have 3 boys and I want them to be in love and to have the greatest sex for the rest of their lives. That's what I want. That's all I want. So everything that I'm putting out, everything that you hear me go, dear men, or you hear me, I'm talking to my boys and I'm training my boys because I always told them something. I'm a single mom, meaning, and I don't understand what that meant though, single mom, but whatever. Try to stay on track, people, try to stay on track. So I'm what they call a single mom, and I still don't like that word single mom. It's like, because it's like, what does that mean? I don't want to be single. Like when you say single mom, it makes you seem like we want to be single. Nobody wants to be single. Like, I don't want to be single. So, or a single parent. Like, stop saying that. Like, you're a captain with no co-pilot. Yeah, I'm saying you're a captain with no co-captain. That's right. That's pretty much what I am right now. I'm a captain with no co-captain. No present co-captain. And running this ship, aircraft carrier, whatever this is called life with these 3 boys, what I always told them was, I did. I started with what I couldn't do. I can't teach you how to be a man. I can't teach you. I'm not a man, so I can't teach, nor have I ever been one. I can't teach you to be a man. I can't teach you what a man is supposed to do. I can't teach you what a man, like, this is what a man's supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what those things are. But I told them what I can do. I can teach you how to be a leader because I am one. I can train you to be a leader. I can train you to love a woman. That was my first thing to them. I was like, I can't teach you how to be a man, but I can teach you how to love a woman. I can teach you how to love a woman. Granted, I told them I could teach you to love a woman like me. Not all women are created equal. And that's just how the game is played. That's just how the game goes. Not all women are created equal. And it's, that's another thing we got to change. It's going to be a long video. It's another thing we got to change. Not saying, all people aren't created equal. That's incorrect. We are all created equal. It's what we choose to do that makes us different. Does that make sense? It's like, what I teach my boys is that the woman is the multiplier. You understand? You have a woman, she's a multiplier. She's the one who's going to multiply what you give her. And they were confused in the beginning because it made it seem like it was during the time where it was like a movement where it was like F men suck, and there's no point, there's no use for men, and don't hold my door open for me, and I could pay my own rent and my own food and all this other stuff, and being a woman of my age and where I came from, I could see how it ended up that way, because the men in my age group, they were just not. But there was so much trauma in that age group. There was so much trauma in the age group before that men didn't know they didn't know what they were supposed to be doing. They were just following orders and doing what they saw their dad do. And then they did what they saw their dad do, but now it's just like the men are more like, why are you doing that? And I believe it's because the women started standing up for themselves. They did. They started standing up for themselves. They started saying, no, no, this is not okay. No, you cannot do this and that and whatever else you feel that you can do. No, you can't do that to me. That's when it started. And it's been like a roller coaster ride trying to get these curls don't place themselves, people. But anyway, it's been a roller coaster ride trying to get everything in order, but back to the original topic. Men aren't meant to do things all by themselves. That wound that you're walking around with saying, oh, I have to be the one to have the plan. I have to be the one to make the money. I have to be the one to make sure everything's okay. I have to do this and I have to do that. When you're in partnership with someone else, especially if she is a positive multiplier, you don't do anything by yourself. You don't do anything by yourself. You give it to her and you both look at it, you strategize, you see what each other wants to do, you see how it's going to move, and then you trust spirit and you move on. You keep moving forward. You carrying that wound, maybe you saw your father do it. Maybe you saw your mother do it and you were like, I will never allow my woman to go through what I saw my mother go through. She's not going to do anything. That's not okay, because you're taking her out of her role. Her role is the multiplier, and she's going to multiply whatever you give her. If you give her silence, she's going to multiply it. If you give her love, she's going to multiply it. If you give her safety, she's going to multiply it. Whatever you give her sperm, she multiplies it and creates a human being. She's a multiplier. You understand? I always tell people, you both are the prize. You both are the prize. You're the prize in yourself. She knows she's the prize in herself. And then the two of you come together and the gift is the relationship. You understand? You both come together and become a gift to the world, a gift to people, a gift to your family. You have to understand. And it's like, oh, wow, I have to. Yes, you have to understand her role. Her role is not to sit around and be pampered. Her role is not to sit around and you don't tell her anything and you carry everything and you don't let her in and you don't say anything. That's not okay. She's the multiplier. If you give it to her, she's going to multiply. Now, I always talk about both sides. There is another side. You can have a toxic multiplier. You can have a multiplier that's not ready for the level that you're at, and it's like, or she just doesn't want to. Those type of multipliers will stall the process. Your birthright can never be taken. Always remember that. Your birthright can never be taken. Whatever's yours is yours, but it can be delayed. And what happens when you don't, there's two things. When you don't have a person, because I was and is a multiplier, right? I didn't have the right person. The person, every time I multiplied something, it wasn't what was supposed to be multiplied. And I wasn't wise enough at the time to realize I was multiplying the wrong things. I was multiplying fear. I was multiplying lack. I was multiplying, friggin' going crazy. I was multiplying sorrow. I was multiplying things that I was not supposed to be multiplying. And once I realized it, I stopped. And that's when everything stopped. Everything on their end crashed down because I just stopped. I stopped multiplying anything that they gave me. So it was just like, You can have that. As the woman, you can have that. As the man, you can have a multiplier where you are on your game. You are doing everything that you possibly can to make this work. You are doing your best, and it just seems like it's just not good enough. No matter what I do for her, no matter what I say to her, it's not enough. There are men out there like that, ladies. I know they're like, please, whatever. No. I've seen both sides. I've heard both sides. And you're hurting each other for no reason. You're literally hurting each other for no reason. And you're like, oh, he doesn't care. Have you asked him? Oh, he doesn't want me. Did you ask him? What do you want from him? I don't know who that was for. It's not the spirit speaks, so let's not get off channel. Let's not start channeling. But anyway, like I said, I have 3 boys. So for me, I could never be men. Men suck. Ain't nothing. I have 3 boys. Why? So it's like I'm doing everything I'm slipped. I did everything. I'm doing everything I possibly can to make sure that they have a love affair. I want them to have a love affair with their women for the rest of their lives. That's what I want. I want them to travel. I want them to eat exotic foods. I want them to chase sunsets, and wake up and greet the morning with beautiful sunrises and beautiful places with beautiful children if they want them, and I want them to live happily ever after, and the only way I know I can help is by telling them, hey, don't do that. That's not gonna land where you think it is, and one of the main things is, men, you are not supposed to do everything alone. You're not supposed to carry that burden of sadness alone. You're not supposed to carry that sadness by yourself. If you have a person, she's not going to multiply your sadness. She's not going to multiply your sadness if she's a good multiplier. If she knows how to multiply, she's not going to multiply your sadness. She's going to feel your want to heal. Does that make sense? She's going to feel that little mustard seed of, please help me. I can't do this on my own. And as long as you put in the effort, she'll multiply it. She'll multiply that. Now, if you say you want to, oh, please help me, I need help, and she's helping you and you're treating like shit, or you're ignoring her, or you're not really talking to her, you're multiplying you're giving her something to multiply that is not good. But if you give her hope, I want to do well, I want this to work, and you put effort, not just any effort, consistent, on target effort. You can't be like, oh, I'm trying. Remember what I told you about that? You don't try, you do. You either do or you don't. If you want this woman, go get her. Men are hunters. Go get her. You understand? Not get her like, hey, watch it, not crazy shit, but like, go get her. If you want her, stop going, oh, I need to have this. I need to be this. I need to do this. I need to have this. I need to be this. You don't need to be anything but yourself. Because if you try to be something else, you're not going to be you. And eventually, you always shows up. Okay? So remember what I told you. Men, you are not supposed to do this all alone. She's the multiplier. You have to get her involved. But you have to make sure that she's a good multiplier and she knows how to multiply positivity and abundance. Because if she knows how to do the opposite, it is not going to multiply the way you want it. All right? I love you guys. Stay up, stay blessed. Deuces, and I'm out. I might do the black and white.